I don't know if you ever look back at your novels, but I would like to go back in time to 2004.
Okay.
So at that time you wrote Just One Look, and I was wondering how you remember working on this book.
You know, it's over 20 years since I wrote the book. But I remember the idea came to me back in those days. Of course, we all didn't have digital cameras. So we used to get our film developed at a store. And one day I got my film back and I was going through the pictures and I thought there was a picture in there I didn't take. It turns out it was just a mistake. And I thought to myself, what if I got this roll of film and I looked through it and there was a picture in here I didn't take? And what if that picture changed my whole life? And that was the little seed that became the book, Just One Look.
What inspires you the most? Where do you look for inspiration? I don't know, in TV news or maybe newspaper headlines?
Absolutely everything inspires me, but normally the ideas, most of the time. I've written 37 novels. My 37th is about to come out, so I've done it every which way. But most of the time it's similar to what I just described in Just One Look. It's something that happens in my regular life, and then I think, how can I make that? What if? It's always a what if. So another example, when I did the Woods, I was a counselor at a camp when I was a kid, and I was terrible at it. And the kids would wander around, and I always thought, well, what happened if 4 of them wandered into the woods, and 2 ended up dead, and 2 we never knew what happened until 25 years later. Yeah. And Hold Tight, friends of mine told me that their son was causing some issues in school, so they put spyware on his computer. Is that an invasion of privacy? Is it okay? And I'm also thinking, well, what if they saw a message that changed everything? So that's normally how I do it. Take something every day, and I keep asking, what if?
It's the first adaptation of your book made in Poland. So what do you like about making that jump from the page to the screen, and what worries you about it?
Nothing worries me about it. I remember there's an old story of James Cain, a great American writer who wrote Double Indemnity and Postman Rings Twice, and one time Hollywood, they said, don't you hate what Hollywood has done to your books? And he said, they've done nothing to my books. They're right there on the shelves. So the Just One Look book is the Just One Look book. It doesn't change because of what we do with TV. I hope it finds a whole new audience. I really love adaptations. So I had this, last night I was with a lot of the actors, a lot of the cast and crew, and I was thinking, I had this little idea I just described to you in my home in New Jersey, in the corner of a room. And now all of these wonderfully talented people in Poland are going to bring it to life. And then Netflix is going to push a button, and it's going to be in 190 countries and 300 million households. That's cool. Any other way you want to look at it, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. And can you say anything more about adapting your very American books to European and Polish reality and viewpoint?
I never understand why people want an adaptation to be the exact same as the book. I think that the combination has made Just One Look, The Woods, and Hold Tight stronger, faster, more compelling, and more interesting. Our summer camps, for example, when we were doing The Woods, are completely different than your summer camps here. I loved that change. I thought it makes it more interesting. So for me, it's actually a strength, not a disadvantage.
I was wondering, after this project, what surprised you about Poland? Do you learn anything about, I don't know, maybe our country's society, tradition, culture?
It sounds phony to say this. You're very cosmopolitan people. You're very intelligent people. You're well-read people. You're thoughtful and kind for the most part. That's been my experience. The readers are the most passionate anywhere. They know the books better than anyone. Any book signing I do anywhere in the world. I was in Brazil, and it was people from Poland who were on lines with old copies of the books in Polish. And I know even when these TV shows come out, that a lot of them people will watch the Just One Look TV show, and they'll read the book, and then they'll have real discussions about it. That's my experience, that you're a thoughtful group, generalizing, of course.